Welcome to the Real Killer DM channel, a channel dedicated to the pursuit of fun through tabletop gaming. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a killer battle mat. Mine's going to be for Gaslands games mainly, but it can and will most likely be used for other RPGs and war games like Warhammer, Car Wars, Gamma World, and even Dungeons & Dragons. The materials are super cheap and the process is really easy. I mean really easy. And if you like to get your hands a little bit messy, this project is perfect for you, my tactile little friend. So let's shift this baby into gear and get ready for another killer video. And let me start out by giving credit where credit is due. A huge thanks to Jeremy at Black Magic Craft for the original idea. He was the first to use caulk to make the battle mat, so thank you. Also, thanks to the Salvation Army thrift store, where I got my yoga mat for a mere measly $2. Add $3 plus tax for 3 tubes of caulk from the dollar store, and this whole project cost me just a tad over $5. That's right, a full 3x6 foot battle mat for a mere $5. That's a hecka cheap. I can make that much money by recycling soda cans in my shed, searching my couch for loose change, robbing my kids' piggy banks, or just asking my wife for an allowance. This thrift store mat was super thin, more like an 1/8 of an inch thick instead of a 1/4 inch, which was perfect for my needs anyway because I wanted to roll it up and make it smaller for storage and transport. So I spread that baby out, grabbed my caulk gun and a variety of scrapers, and I got to work spreading out a thin layer of caulk across the entire mat. So while I'm doing that, I thought now would be a good time to ask for your support growing my channel by simply smashing that like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I would absolutely love to have you as a new member to the family. Welcome aboard! Once you finish spreading the caulk out with a scraper, you're going to want to get it wet. I recommend you use a spray bottle, and also don't forget to get your hands wet thoroughly, or you will literally have a sticky mess on your hands. Not sure how this footage got in here, but I would never make that rookie mistake. Not me. Nope. Anyway, whatever. Just wet your hands. And you definitely don't have to be a perfectionist when you're trying to smooth it out. You want to have some irregularities, so good enough is good enough. Once I was finished with the smoothing, I dunked my roller in some water, got it nice and wet, and I rolled out a cobblestone pattern around the entire outside edge of the mat. This is literally how fast I was able to go without gumming everything up. So it was just after this point that things kind of took a weird turn for me. My cameras started yelling at me because their storage was full. I went to download them on my computer and the computer storage was full. Long story short, it took me 4 days to completely download my videos to the Internet Archive. So if you're on the Internet Archive, you can also find my videos there. Once I was finished with all of the roads, I added playground sand to the squares in between the roads just to add a little bit of extra texture to it. Once I was done, I had 3 blocked out areas which to race on, so pretty good looking mat so far. So I wanted to make sure everything was going to stick once it was done. Even though the caulk was still wet, I had some PVA glue to my sprayer, shook it up real good, and I thoroughly soaked it so that all the sand would stay once the board was done. This is about the point my camera ran out of storage, so I did the rocks and the Mod Podge off camera. I've been really looking forward to using these mica powders for a while now. They are a little bit shiny, but I figured I could dull them out with a little bit of chalk afterwards. So I got to applying that in the center so I could make a crisscross track through the middle. So here's a few things that I've learned and a couple things that I can say about the mica powders. They were great for this application for what I was trying to do here, make a kind of a dusty little figure 8 kind of track going through the middle. I also tried it on a couple of miniatures. It doesn't stick very well. If you're going to do miniatures, you're going to want to maybe put it on after a coat of primer or something like that. But even then, I think it would clump up. So it's not something you could use for day-to-day painting, but it worked great on the terrain stuff. I wanted to knock some of the shine out of that mica powder, so that's when I had the idea to scrape a little chalk into a container and brush it on. However, that was tedious, taking way too much time. It didn't apply very well. That's when I had the idea to just scrape the chalk right onto the board, and I was much happier. And it took a lot less time, and the results were really good. And that part is all done. Time to paint the roadways black, and if you're going to do this, make sure that you get the big bottle of black because it takes quite a bit and you don't want to run out. There was really something just so satisfying about getting this black paint on. I think it was just the feeling of almost being done and having a really good looking board to show for my efforts, but I really did enjoy this part. I cut myself a nice little foam piece to use as a stamp, and I got to work stamping the road with the white stripes. For me, this part is so satisfying. I know I'm close to the end, but before I wrap everything up, I gotta add a little bit of scatter terrain. I've got all these skulls, and so next part is to just make it look that much better. So we've come to the end of another video, and you know how I do it. Thanks for watching, and here's some beauty shots to take it on out. Here's the part where I ask you what you think. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know in the comments below.